guys, this is Mo, the Gnostic Warrior, the founder of the Order of the Gnostics and Mold Safe Solutions. Doing a little video. I don't got my selfie stick right now. As you could see, I'm at the beach today. Beautiful day. People are playing and so forth. Kind of show you what a beautiful day it is here in sunny Southern California. And of course, up there we have a military helicopter flying by, which is somewhat of a common theme here. San Diego being one of the most favorite places for the military, just so you guys know. And thank you for tuning in, everybody. And if you're watching the live broadcast, rebroadcast, thank you for tuning in. This video is going to be a little bit weird because I don't have my selfie stick, and I usually do. So I wanted to talk about how you could choose a good place to live for you and your family, and why it's so important to choose a good place to live, and why it could mean all the difference between having a good life and then having a stressful life, you know, possibly when you're on the run. So there's a lot of turmoil in the weather happening right now, right? We have the hurricanes going on in Florida, tornadoes in the Midwest, and we have here in sunny Southern California, we have calm, still skies, blue, the sun shining bright up there, right? You could almost grab it, right? So my heart goes out to all the people that are suffering right now and are on the run homes from this hurricanes that are hitting Florida on the East Coast and so forth. And I want you guys to think about kind of what is going on there in Florida, right? What's happening in the Caribbean, in Cuba, in all these different areas. And then look what's happening here in sunny Southern California, one of the most crowded places in all of the world. There's more people here in San Diego than in many states in the Masonic States of America, right? They come here for this, guys. That's why it's so expensive to live here. Everybody wants to come be at the beach. The calm Southern California blue skies, right? Remember that when you choose a place to live, you gotta use knowledge, you gotta use Gnosis. Some of us, of course, we don't have a choice. You know, we're kind of born in a certain location due to economics, how we're born or whatever. We have to stay wherever we're born. Some of us have a choice where we actually can choose where we want to go. Here in the United States of America, there's many states that we can go to. I myself have lived only in California and New Mexico. And I'll tell you what, you know, if I'm gonna be here in the United States, I'm gonna be right here in Southern California. Some people choose to live elsewhere, and that's cool. You know, but what I love about this area and this place and why I've chosen it for my family and myself is because it's beautiful. It's a place that I could operate, and I don't have to stress out about the weather, about hurricanes coming in from this massive expansion of blue water right behind me, right? So let's go down here. I've been coming here to this beach for about, I don't know, 7 years or so, and then I've been to several other beaches in California. And this is pretty much what I see most of the time. Sometimes, of course, it does get a little bit crazy out here and the swells come in, there's a hurricane maybe in Mexico or possibly up north near Alaska, and we'll get big waves that come in here. But what we never get are hurricanes. Never. Okay? There's not going to be a hurricane that's going to chase me and my family out of this location, right? We do have to worry about earthquakes once in a while, but that threat is something that I feel that we could manage. One of the downfalls, of course, of living here in Southern California is the smog, right? So if you look down at the beach, you'll see right there, that's an energy plant, okay? And that energy plant is burning coal. It's a coal plant. So this beautiful place we see here is deceptive, okay? It's highly polluted. It's actually one of the most polluted areas in the nation. And you're probably going, why the hell did you move to one of the most polluted areas in the nation? Well, actually, I don't live here anymore. I moved to a different location because of that, okay? And because of this. Okay, and when I talk about that, you got to understand that, you know, the father of medicine, Hippocrates, and all the ancient philosophers has talked about choosing a location where you could live to be the most healthy. And what I've learned is that the beach, especially here, you know, in Southern California, it's not the most healthy place you could live. It's a great place to visit. It's a great place to do a walk and a talk with the YouTubers out there and Facebook community and all the followers of Gnostic Warrior and Mold Safe Solutions. But it's not a great place to live. The cost of living, the moisture because of the ocean. So this ocean right here, what it does is it produces a lot of humidity in the air. Okay? This humidity goes into these homes right here that you see, all these $1 million homes right here. Most all of them have mold. Elementals, spirits. Some not so bad, some more worse than others. But all these homes right here have it. Every single one. It's inevitable. Between the smog, the carbon dioxide, and then you have the moisture in the air from the ocean. So anything that's above, you know, say 60%, 50% humidity, you don't want to live or have your home, because you're going to have more probability of having these elementals, these demon spirits in your home because of the moisture. They fly in through the air, right? You remember, if you watch my videos, I talk about how these airy spirits are actually the fungi, and they fly in the air and they go in our windows and they go in our homes. And once we have water damage or an excess source of moisture like humidity in the air that we have here in the ocean and anywhere in the world. So if you live on an island like in Hawaii, or you live here in Southern California at the beach, or any beach community in Florida, whatever you're at, you're gonna have more mold, you're gonna have more of these elementals, these spirits. And then if you have water damage on top of that, it's gonna make it a lot worse. So when I moved back to Southern California, I knew that I loved the beach, I love to surf, I love everything about this, but I knew that this isn't the perfect location to live for my family because of the mold, because of the moisture in the air. It's better to live in a drier place. And you go, hey Mo, why? Think about the Egyptians, right? The pharaohs. Where did they live? They didn't live, I mean, they could have lived wherever they want. They were one of the richest dynasties for thousands and thousands of years, but no, they chose to live in the desert, in the dryness, right? And then they built different canals and so forth from the Nile to ship water in, right? Think about this, guys. Why would these pharaohs, this kingdom, this dynasty that went on for thousands of years, why would they choose, of all areas, to have their kingdom then in the middle of the desert? Okay? They knew about this science. And that's why the nobles the people in the know that know about this, they don't live on the ocean. They might have their beach houses, but they live in the mountains. They live in locations where the air is more dry and it's better for their bodies, and they don't putrefy from these molds and so forth in their bodies. So thank you for tuning in, guys, on this live walk and talk today. Kind of impromptu. I'm working. You see my work shirt on today. I have a little break, and I have a chance to kind of take a walk on the beach, which is kind of cool. I feel blessed. I feel blessed to kind of live my life, even though it's not perfect, but I'm thankful that I live here in sunny Southern California. I'm glad I made the decision to move here. This is about a half an hour from my house. So if you go a half hour inland, where I do most of my walks and my talks, I'm in the location of Fallbrook, where the humidity is definitely a lot less. The air is drier. We have more sunshine, actually, even though today's a beautiful day here in Carlsbad. So this is Carlsbad, California. You know, the average price of a home here is right about $800,000. Okay, so this is an expensive place to live. You got to make at least $100,000 a year to even compete or even move in an apartment, pretty much, right? So it is expensive, but it's important that you guys choose a place where you live that can be conducive to you, where you could thrive, okay, in your work, whatever that is, right? If you're in a place like Florida, you know that this location, based on history, has a lot of hurricanes, has a lot of floods and so forth. It has a lot of mold. Okay, so if you choose, you know, to move to Florida, you're kind of putting yourself and your family at risk based on history, based on facts, based on the reality that there's hurricanes there every single year. You don't know. It's like Russian roulette. You don't know where the next bullet's gonna come out of the chamber. In Florida, you don't know where it's gonna hit. It's gonna come. The bullet's gonna come. The hurricane's gonna come. But you just don't know where it's gonna hit on Florida. So you're kind of playing a little bit of Russian roulette there. A lot of people have lived there all their lives and they're fine. You know, and I find those people, they don't get into the fear mode and the panic mode. They kind of go through these hurricanes. Some of them stick and stay in their places. Some leave earlier than other people, you know. But you got to understand, if you choose to live in a place like this, you're kind of, whatever comes, you got to kind of deal with it and man up and just understand this is part of living there. Don't live in fear. Just understand that if a hurricane comes and it floods your home and wipes everything out, that's just reality. It's just a fact. It's what happens there. You know, and I'm seeing a lot of people that are, of course, living in Florida and they're scared, which is rightly so. But in the same breath, they got to understand that they chose to live here in this place that has a lot of hurricanes and a lot of floods, and that this could happen. And that to understand that they chose to live in this place, you know? So, you know, if we use knowledge and we use Gnosis to choose where we're going to live, we could choose to live in places, if we have that choice, where we don't got to run. Where we don't got to run from hurricanes coming from the massive ocean, right? Or in the Midwest where there's tornadoes. If we have that choice, you know, but if we live in Tornado Alley, if we live in Florida where we have these hurricanes all the time, we're making a conscious choice to put ourselves in an area, in a location where we could die. Okay? It's that simple, guys. We're putting ourselves and our family and our children at risk where they could die of a hurricane or a flood. We're putting our homes and our properties at risk where this ocean could flood in to our homes and then cause them to be covered in mold. And that's what's going to happen in Florida with all these homes. They're going to be covered in mold. And all the water, as some of you guys know, it's taken over by algae in Florida. I've written about that on Mold Safe Solutions. I've mentioned it on Gnostic Warrior. That the water there is so unhealthy because of the algae. And the algae is a cousin of mold. I actually think it's just water mold. And this algae is poisonous and toxic. And this water is coming in and it's flooding these homes, and it's adding on top of the bacteria and all the other problems. So I believe places like Florida, if you're trying to choose a good location for your family, that it's not a good location. That based on history, based on facts, based on current events, as we see now in the media, if you have the choice of where to live and you're choosing to live there, you just got to deal with it, right? You either got to do one of two things. You're going to run and be in fear, why me, Lord, etc., or you're going to get the knowledge and understand that you chose to live there, and there's the risk of the hurricanes coming in. There's the risk of the floods. There's the risk of you losing everything. There's the risk of you losing your life and your family. So just understand that when you make a choice of a place where to live, there are risks, right? There are benefits. I choose benefits over the risk for my family to live in locations where there aren't hurricanes, where there aren't tornadoes, where I don't have to run. There's enough to fear out here in this big bad world, right? Than Mother Nature. So I believe that's why we need to make a really conscious choice of where we're going to live. Thank you for tuning in, guys. My name is Mo. Some of you know me as the Gnostic Warrior. Some of you guys know me from Mold Safe Solutions. I'm just taking a walk and talk and trying to let people understand that where we live is so important, and why I choose to live here in sunny Southern California for this kind of weather, for this kind of ocean, where I don't got to worry about my family or a hurricane coming in. I don't got to worry about a tornado leveling my house. I also don't got to worry about being robbed by thugs, even though it happens here, of course, right? So, you know, choosing the right place to live, I choose to live in areas where I'm not going to get robbed or I'm going to get killed, right? Where I could kind of stick my feet in the sand and I could walk, even on a day where I'm working, right? And just enjoy this day. So this is where I choose to be, guys. So I love it here. I'm getting a little wet, sorry. But all's well. I got my feet rolled up here. Everybody's at work, I'm at work. But this is my job today. I get to broadcast. As long as I go to a job, when I get a call on my phone, then I'm good to go. So choose a good place for you and your family, guys, where you don't have to worry. Whoa! Or maybe get wet. Sorry, I got a little wet there. So, love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Understand I'm a person just like you. I'm kind of sharing my life with these walks and these talks. It's not about the production. They're done with no script or anything. And I love the comments I've been getting from you guys, and please keep them up. And understand that we need to choose a place to live where it's safe for our family, where we could be happy, where we could soak up the sun. My feet, I'm earthing right now, right? I'm walking barefoot. I'm soaking in the rays instead of sitting in my car waiting for a job. That's what I do, instead of sitting on the computer. You know, so I try to walk the Gnostic path, guys. I try to do things and show you guys that, hey, you know, maybe instead of sitting on the computer, you could take a walk with your phone or your book, or you could sit on the beach. You know, and I'm enjoying these last days of summer, right? You know, my heart goes out to everybody out there suffering from the hurricane and having to run with their families and their lives being turned over. Maybe this will kind of be a learning lesson of maybe deciding for another place. I don't know. Maybe it's worth it to live there with the hurricanes. And I understand that as well. You got family, you have roots, and so forth. You know, but for me, this is where my family is in beautiful Southern California, right? This is where I choose to be. And again, I was lucky to be born here, even though I believe it's a crazy place to live. It's expensive, but there's lots of jobs here. There's money to be made here without selling your soul to the devil. There's lots of people that sell their soul to the devil to make a buck here. But hey, that's everywhere in the world today, right? Don't matter if you're in Southern California, you're in the city of devils, right? In Los Angeles, San Diego. Don't matter. Got a guy popping a pimple on this lady's butt. I thought it was kind of fun. But anyways. Funny world we live in, guys. People just reading, getting some sun on the beach behind me, enjoying this day. Remember the ocean, the sand, it's healing. It's great to get out of here, away from the energies of the real world. That's why I love to go to the beach. I love to walk. I'm gonna start doing more walks and talks on the beach, guys, while I have time and so forth. Please share this video. Thank you for tuning in, or if you're watching the rebroadcast. Things are gonna change, guys. This whole landscape, this world is gonna change in these coming years. And I believe that this mold thing is gonna be huge. And there's actually gonna be evacuations of whole communities. There's gonna be whole towns and cities and houses that are gonna be torn down. Just watch, guys. This thing is it's gonna blow up. And it's gonna be a fact that all these diseases, all these illnesses that are going from Parkinson's to Alzheimer's to cancer, they're all being caused by these elementals, this mold, this fungi that's in these houses everywhere. That's why everybody's dying so young. So remember, choosing our environment, where we're gonna live, choosing our house is so important to stay clean, to try to get away from these elementals. So if you live at the beach, remember, beauty can be deceptive. I love to visit here. I don't love to live here. I think in a different day and time, maybe, but like I said, you want to go inland. Got to start making my way back, because if they call me, I got to run. I got to run to my car. So I'll just talk to you guys a little as I show you the ocean. So remember, when you choose a place to live, if you want to protect yourself and your family against these demon elementals, these fungi, that you want to stay away from the ocean, right near lakes and so forth, because of the humidity in the air. It's that simple. This humidity in the air causes more mold, more fungi to grow in your home, more fungi and mold to be in the air, because they love water. They'll eat it in the air, guys. Right? So that's why thunderstorms, hurricanes, etc., you're going to have more mold in the air, and you're going to have more destruction after, because these fungi are actually attracted to this water. And that's why we see after every single hurricane, after every single flood, we see these toxic parasitic fungi, these molds, basically attack everything in sight, make everybody sick. So if you're in an area that has a high probability of floods, of moisture, of water, you live at the beach, you live at the ocean, hurricane, you're putting your family at risk, plain and simple. Even when there's no hurricanes, even when it's this beautiful, guys. Just remember that. So I feel the desert mountains are about 30 minutes from the ocean, is about an ideal location for any family to live in the world today. Preferably choose a place that has sun. There's a lot of sun for you, for your health and for your family. The more sun, the more better. Hopefully you have some clean air, but clean air is hard to find anywhere in the world today. So here in the Masonic States of America, people don't realize we actually have some of the cleanest air in all the world. I mean, people come here from South Korea, China, other nations, and they say we're so lucky to have such clean air, even here in polluted Southern California. So remember that, guys, that Southern California, even though it is polluted, it is cleaner than a lot of areas. So I feel the moisture and the mold is more dangerous than the polluted air. So make sure you choose a place with low humidity, preferably the desert, the mountains. Choose a place that has low crime, a good vibe, a good energy in the area, where there's not a lot of parasitic people that seem like zombies, right? A place like this, you see all these people, right? They're not all awake from the Matrix, but they're living life, a lot of them. They're enjoying it. A lot of them are contributing to the world, right? They're keeping in motion. So they might be asleep, but they're not inertia. They're not sitting on their computers all day. They're moving, they're exercising. So remember that. Stay outside. Go to a place where you can get outside, you can move around, you can have exercise where you don't have to worry about getting robbed or getting mugged, stuff like that. So really simple, guys. Maybe choose a place like this, right? Beautiful Southern California. I'm pretty much done, guys, today. A little bit hot, it's actually 80 degrees. And then I got all this long sleeves on. So peace be with you guys. My heart goes out to everybody that's suffering from the hurricane, and I hope you guys restore your lives quick. If you have a choice, think about Southern California. It's beautiful here if you could afford it. I can't afford it, but I moved here and somehow got a job. Everything ended up working out. I dropped out of school. I don't have a college degree. I don't have any really formal training. I have my mold certificates, etc. But it was just determination and teaching myself the knowledge and the gnosis about water damage and mold, where I scored my job, making pretty darn good money, where I could live here and walk on the beach, even when I'm working. I could do a live stream with you guys. So I've been to jail, guys. I've been to prison. I've been locked up. I have those. My boss knows about that, but it was a long time ago, right? So I want to tell you guys, anything could happen, and it's what you do with your life that makes all the difference. It's not what happens to you, it's what you do with what happens to you, guys. So remember that. I know it's hard to get a job out there, hard to work, hard to make money, but you guys could do it. I don't do these videos for money. I don't do Gnostic Warrior for money. I really don't even do my mold blog for money. I'm not making money off that, even though I want to do it for a living someday. So thank you guys for tuning in and watching. I got to get going right now. I just got a message. I got to go to a job, a water damage job. So I got to go protect the people from these demon elementals, from these fungi. I got to teach them some gnosis, some knowledge, so their houses don't get haunted, right? Imagine that. Love you guys. Thank you. Jim Chesner, brother, thank you. Monica, everybody. Trish, John, everybody I forgot. Peace be with you guys out there. Thank you for your support. All the haters out there, peace be with you. If you don't believe in everything I'm saying, that's cool. But this truth will be more and more evident as time goes by. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your life. Enjoy where you live. And try to be the best you could be. Peace. Mo, the Gnostic Warrior. Go to GnosticWarrior.com if you want to hear more about the Gnostic stuff. If you want to hear more about mold, go to MoldSafeSolutions.com. Peace be with you. Hey, you're welcome. Thomas, hey, good to see you. I love all you guys. It's great to see all the good people back again and your support. I'll try to return as many messages as I can. It's hard to even reply to comments, guys, because I'm so busy with work, with doing these videos, and then with the family and so forth. But remember, I love you guys. You guys are in my heart. Really, I mean it. Peace.